Alright, so this video I'm going to be going over a deal that I have currently under contract in Roatan, Honduras. So if you don't know, Roatan is an island off of the coast of Honduras. It's very tropical, very beautiful. I've been going down there for vacations since 2016. And just a little bit of background about myself and the island. My cousin lived and worked on the island for 5 years from 2009 to like 2015, I think it was. And during that time, she met her now husband. So we have family down there. We started going down for family vacations, and eventually, my parents, as well as my cousins, purchased property themselves down there where they built a house. Two separate duplexes. So we have technically four units down there as a collective family. And last year, I was fortunate enough to find a deal down there. We purchased a piece of land. It was discounted. We negotiated backdated HOA fees with the seller, and I ended up partnering with the same developer who built my parents' house. So we the whole project went very well. We purchased the discounted piece of land, we built on it, free sold it within 1 month of owning it, and the returns from that were something like 60 to 65% return on investment. Both my partner and I, we profited a total of like $168,000 after putting in, I think, I don't know, we purchased the land for 26 and then we put in 135. So our return wasn't too bad. I think actually our return was almost, I don't know, you can do the math, but it was pretty good. Now we're looking to do it again. The returns I've seen on the island are kind of silly. You can find really good deals. Essentially, what I'm finding is that if you don't have holding costs or financing costs, your returns are looking at about like 100%. So it's kind of silly. It's a really good investment market. As long as it's overseas, it's in a Latino, specifically Honduran market, so you got to make sure that you know what you're doing and cover all your bases, which is exactly what I do with my investments. So let's dive into it here. This is a picture of the exterior of the property. It's pretty basic. You have 4 units, so 1 unit here, one above it, and then 2 on the other side, and this open staircase kind of connects them all. The 3rd floor is already set up for plumbing, electrical, everything like that, so that you can build up. For this project specifically, I will just be turning each of these units into condos. I'll be doing some light renovations to them to bring the value up, and just selling them off at a quick fix and flip, essentially, is what it is. So this is kind of a picture of where it is on the island. Later on, we'll see like a little bit of a zoomed out version, but this, you can see the location is here, kind of close to the road, but you also have deeded access to the beach right here. So there is a dock right here that you can see. This is another image of it that we have access to as well. There is no slip that comes with the property, unfortunately, but it's just a nice feature to have as well, to be able to offer that. So a summary of the investment. The purchase price is $410,000. The estimated construction costs are a total of $160,000, and that's budgeting $40,000 each of the units. I'm already working with the interior designer on our finishes and stuff like that, and I've told her my budget is $30,000, so it's likely to come in even below that. However, I like to be conservative in my numbers. So the after repair value is, we're estimating it to be $260,000 per unit. So that brings you to a total of 1.04. And so we got that number where, essentially our plan is to list the properties at $275 each unit, and then they will sell, like typically properties sell in Roatan just a little bit below the asking price. So if we list them at $275, they'll sell for $260. And when we start looking at the comparables too later, you'll see that we're actually able to ask for a premium in these units just because of the finishes that we're putting in them. They're very unique to the island and something different than what is traditionally offered. So then specifically, let's get into your investment or the investment that I'm looking for. So I'm looking to raise $330,000, and this is specifically debt. We aren't at this time offering any equity. And the interest rate that we're offering is 15%. So, if you were to bring the total $330,000 to the table, the projected return for you would be 74,000, and some change dollars. And it would be held over the course of 18 months. And so these are kind of just the numbers. You can take a look at these into a little bit more detail, but this is like what my deal analyzer kind of spits out. You have like all your aspects of your kind of purchase and repairs and your as is and all that stuff. And then you have your holding costs, all that here. Your insurance is basically what I'm accounting for, which is again higher than what it will be in reality, but I like to be conservative. Buying costs down on the island, they charge 6% for the attorney fees, and then I'm setting up 2 entities, so each entity is $1,500. So the way that I'm purchasing it is there will be a holding company that will own 50% of the shares of the corporation for which the property is being purchased in, and the seller will own the other 50% of those shares. Because we're doing some seller financing. And then here you have your seller costs. So down on the island, it's 10% to realtor fees when you're selling. So it's a little high, but I'm just budgeting the numbers on the high end, and we'll negotiate the difference with my realtor after that. So she's going to get 4 listings from me that are going to sell off the market pretty quickly because I'm offering a really good product. I think that she would probably work with me a little bit on the commission there. So we're budgeting on the high side, but it may likely be lower than that. So, and then obviously with your financing costs here, your total returns are at the bottom. We're looking at about 65% return with $407,000 in profit. So those numbers aren't too bad to me, considering it's a conservative investment. And actually, before I get into the property, the beauty of this deal is actually that even without doing the renovations, the property still turns a profit. So if I were to just go in and turn the units into condos and sell them as is, then I will still turn over, I think it was like about $130,000 in profit or something like that. My realtor informed me that each unit could sell at like $180,000 as is. So, that's kind of just even less of a risky investment. It's just kind of backing your security in your investment a little bit more, knowing that there's already basically meat on the bone. There's already money to be had in the deal, just with the converting them to condos. So this is a project overview. I won't read through the whole thing, but essentially the property, it stands on 0.34 acres. It's a 4-unit, as we already discussed. Each unit has 2 beds and 1 bath in each unit. They're kind of stacked right on top of each other. They are very similar in terms of their, design, and kind of where things are orientated and such. And there is room, I mentioned earlier, to build up, as well as additional space to build more units on the lot. So for this specific deal, it will just be the simple condo conversion renovation. However, going forward, I do intend to build up. That'll be separate completely from this deal, but then also there is potential to build, additional units on the lot separate from this specific structure. So outside of this one deal, there is more deals to be done. So these are kind of like pictures for what we're going to do. Like I mentioned, that we're able to offer premium in terms of what we're asking in the market because of what design features we're bringing to the table. So these are kind of a little bit of what we're looking to bring, you know, polished cement flooring, wood accent walls. Um, you know, this is like kind of my favorite part, I guess. We can describe this is what we're going to do in the bathrooms. We plan to take down, you know, most of the wall. It's not going to look exactly like this, but this is kind of a general concept. The shower will be inside, but you know, there will be an exterior with, it'll be like a glass wall next to your shower that'll be like, you know, mirror glass or something like that so people can't see in. And then we're gonna have like green plants and things of that nature in there with again another wood accent wall. And that wood accent wall is essentially just going to be like a little fence to offer more privacy, but then also just contrast the grays. And so you see here, there's also that brown contrast with the gray. So that's kind of a lot of the feel we're going for. I spoke to an interior designer. We're going to probably do like, you know, black as the fixtures and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we're going for. And this is a very unique style to the island. It's also something that is in high demand within, you know, basically our target market, which is expats. And so that's, you know, just all another reason why we're able to charge premium for the property. So this is a map of the island to give you a little bit more insight into kind of where it's located. And so, I mean, you can read through this here as well. It basically describes like the north side of the island versus the south side, the west side, and the east side and stuff like that. So I can just go over it with you verbally here, but you can take a look yourself. But so essentially, this is a map of the island. This is the north side here. So the north side has like a beautiful coral reef. It's like aqua waters. It's, you know, because it's within the reef, it's usually more calm. You know, the water line up here, specifically where the property is located, it's very shallow for a longer distance. And so, you know, you kind of get those calm waters up there. The breeze isn't so intense. And then you do get some sunset views. So the sun, when it sunsets, it kind of like moves throughout the year. So it'll kind of be here at one point of the year and then kind of like over here at another point. So there are some nice views of the sunset, you know, at least for a portion of the year. And, you know, maybe the units won't be able to see that, but you'll be able to see that from the beach that we have deeded access to. And so the south side of the island, it's, you know, it's definitely more exposed to like wind. The waters are more rough. The water is deeper. I think there's like a big ledge here that kind of drops down. And I don't know if you know anything about Roatan, but it's one of the top 2 places to scuba dive in the world. So, you know, a lot of divers love the drop that, you know, the island offers. I guess you can kind of like, I haven't done it. I've only done scuba diving once, but I guess you can, you know, kind of swim down the ledge, you know, into the depths of the ocean, and that terrifies me, but some people love it. So, and then getting into the more fun stuff on the island. So the west end is about a 10-minute drive from where the property is located. And the west end offers like food, restaurants, nightlife. There is a beach over there that is, you know, you can lay out on and stuff like that. You can